All right, guys, this is the Iceman here on the Jeffrey Rose YouTube channel. Saturday. A lot of frustrations and whatnot. I've been a very busy work week. Um, you know, I got an issue here I want to talk about, and I hope there's a lot of support for this issue. Um, TNA Wrestling, AJ Styles. Now, I don't read spoilers, but a spoiler was sent to me, and then I decided to research it. And some people thought it might have been a storyline, but as far as my research went, it wasn't a storyline. AJ Styles will be gone off TNA TV. I think it's like the first or second week of January. He loses the TNA World Heavyweight Championship match. If you don't want to watch this video, I'll say this now. Click it off if you don't want to know what's going on. But other than that, he loses his TNA World Heavyweight title match to Magnus. Dixie and AJ couldn't come to terms on a contract. And I am like, for me as a TNA wrestling fan, since they began in the early 2000s, AJ Styles was the guy that was always there. AJ Styles to me was TNA. It was unfortunate he only had a couple TNA World Heavyweight Championship titles. He had a lot of X Division titles, of which when TNA originated, X Division was, the really big thing in TNA because that was their real huge product back then, along with the six-sided ring and whatnot. And for me as a wrestling fan, I will, I'm going to come out on the table and I'm going to say this right out. I love TNA. I love watching WWE. In WWE, I am a huge John Cena fan. I know there's a lot of John Cena fan haters out there. I'm a huge CM Punk fan. I really like Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, Cody Rhodes. Damian Sandow has a future. I'm a big hater of Randy Orton. I think he's very boring, but he's very, very talented. Don't get me wrong, he's very talented. Triple H was very talented. I didn't like him. But with that being said, being a huge John Cena fan, and I'm going to bring this up too. I like Chris Jericho, and I really loved Edge. I think Edge brought a lot to the company, but obviously Edge is gone. Jericho is been gone for quite some time. But with all this being said, being a huge John Cena fan and being a fan of professional wrestling in general, with the two promotions really in the spotlight for the last so many years, my favorite wrestler in both promotions, without a doubt, and I think has more talent than anyone else, is AJ Styles. AJ Styles is just a guy. I mean, if you watch him in the ring, his demeanor, his moves, nobody comes close to him in the WWE other than Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan and him are like neck and neck. I think Daniel Bryan's a lot quicker in the ring, but AJ Styles is more deliberate in the ring. The moves he makes mean more when he does it. I mean, it gets to where he needs to go. And after reading the departure of AJ from TNA, it just like totally ripped my guts out because TNA was for me like a WCW. I love WCW. I mean, I watched WCW more than I watched WWE. When it was Monday night, I was watching WCW. And everybody's saying, you're not watching WWE? Hell no, man. You watch WCW. It was far more entertaining. They had all the great stars and this and that. And then it wasn't until like the McMahon and Austin feud, and then all of a sudden just things fell apart. The NWO got old, and WWE, money backing them, money wins, you know. But TNA to me was like WCW, and it was something new, it was something fresh, it was something fun to watch. TNA went through a number of superstars. I mean, don't get me wrong. You guys remember Monty Brown? I mean, I can't even name them all that went through TNA, but you still had the guys that stuck around, like the Samoa Joes, Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, Sting showed up, Christian showed up, Jeff Hardy showed up, Kurt Angle showed up. It just was a number of superstars. Bubba Ray, now Bully Ray, Devon, Chavo Guerrero, Homicide, and Hernandez. But anyway, throughout all of it, the one guy that remained there throughout the beginning until the present was AJ Styles. And to me, AJ Styles had all the moves in the world. I mean, you watch any match with AJ Styles, for the most part, they were excellent matches. I think he had some phenomenal matches with Christopher Daniels. I think probably those were some of the best matches of his career. But AJ gave his heart and soul to TNA, and it's unfortunate that things don't work out the way they should. Dixie Carter likes to make light of things to try to make herself not look so bad in the long run. But you want to know something? You have a guy like AJ Styles that, stuck with TNA through the good times and the bad times. And you can't find a way to meet his contract needs when you had the likes of Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff. Now you sign this guy, what's his Rockstar Spud, Ethan Carter the third, Zema Ion, and you can't find money to pay AJ Styles. Dixie, I don't know what you're doing, but you're definitely putting TNA into the ground. And I, for one, don't want to see it, but I, for one, cannot back what you've done with AJ Styles by letting you call Sting the icon? AJ's the franchise. And if anybody doesn't agree with me, then I don't know where you've been for the last 11 years, or 11 or 12 years, because AJ Styles been, I am just so disgusted with the fact that AJ has gone from TNA. And if, a lot of people saying it's storylines and whatnot, I've done a lot of research, and there was a big, big gap in the contract. And AJ really doesn't care. They don't want to spend the money. And, I, for one, was hoping, with all the rumors that we heard the last couple months about TNA and Dire Straits wanting to sell, I was really hoping that they would sell to somebody that would really have the financial backing to really want to pay these superstars and get more superstars to build them up, like the WCW did when they were versing WWE back in the late 90s or early, or I should say the mid to late 90s. Um, you people were giving in to Vince McMahon, really. And Vince ain't going to take AJ Styles. Why would he take AJ Styles? Because he won't admit the fact that AJ was a superstar from another promotion. Vince very seldom ever does that. He did it with Chris Jericho. He was one. Um, CM Punk, Ring of Honor, but Ring of Honor is sort of like the minor leagues for the WWE. But in any event, if AJ's gone, we're gonna miss him. And for me, without AJ on TNA, I've waited a long time. And if he doesn't come back, it's, I don't know. I'm a wrestling fan. I'll try to overcome the fact that AJ's gone, but it's going to be very, very tough. And I will say this, in both WWE and TNA, I think, for one, in my personal opinion, AJ Styles is one of the best professional wrestlers I've ever seen in the last 10 years. This is the Iceman on the Jeffrey Rose YouTube channel. Please give me your thoughts. Please give me your opinions. Let's get a lot of likes on this video because I'm really pushing to try to get AJ back in TNA. And one only knows. Have a great Saturday.